Your Excellencies, delegates, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the 7th annual climate meeting, adoption of the UN Framework Convention in 1992. We adopted the Kyoto Protocol in 1997, and 7 years following yet another historic milestone, the Paris Agreement adopted in 2015. When the convention was adopted in 1992, global emissions were approximately 27 gigatons annually. This has risen to about 40 gigatons, while carbon dioxide accumulation in the atmosphere has also steadily increased. For the past 8 consecutive years, documented by the UN to be the hottest years in history, each new year has been hotter than the previous year. The whole world is reeling from the staggering impact of climate change. The spread, scale, and frequency of hurricanes, typhoons, wildfires, waves, melting sea ice and glaciers, droughts and desertification, floods and rising sea levels in numerous regions of all continents indicate that humanity is confronting unprecedented devastation on a global scale. The state of climate and of climate in Africa reports lay it bare. High water stress is estimated to affect about 250 million people in Africa and is expected to displace up to 700 million people by 2030. In 50 years, drought-related hazards claimed the lives of over 500,000 people and led to economic losses of over 7 in the region. 1,000 flood-related disasters, 20,000 deaths in Africa period. It is estimated that by 2050, climate impacts could cost African nations US $50 billion annually. The Horn of Africa region, including Kenya, is experiencing the worst drought in 40 years. 2 consecutive years without rain have visited misery on millions of people. 2.5 million livestock have died in Kenya this year alone, causing economic losses of more than US $1.5 billion. 2 days ago, we went to distribute food relief to 4.3 million affected in an emergency program that has forced us to allocate funds budgeted for education. The trade-offs we are forced to make sensible public goods is evident, is directly threatening our people's lives. Moreover, due to drought, many children have now dropped out of school. We have been compelled to make school feeding a priority in order to keep our children in class. Kenya's world-renowned wildlife heritage has not been spared either, and carcasses of elephants, zebras, wildebeest, and many other wild fauna litter our parks. We have had to spend US $3 million to supply feed and water to wildlife in the last 3 months. Again, this backdrop, the lengthy discussions with its stalling, delay, procrastination that have hampered implementation is simply cruel. We cannot afford to spend real issues, and we must break out of the open-ended process for